So yeah, I just but for, you know, doing slab and stuff, riding around town, commuting, it's great. It's got luggage. The luggage comes off and it looks pretty clean underneath. You know, there's just little tabs. It's got the SW Motec stuff on it. And it sounds pretty cool. And you know, it's got a little top end to it. It'll wheelie. Especially I put the you know, suspension on it, the Rally Raid Stage 2 or whatever. I didn't get the wheels, but I got the longer travel suspension, and it wheelies a lot better with that suspension on it. I think probably the weight transfer is different or something, but it definitely transformed it in a good way. And I do have some weird crap going on with my chain sliders, but you know, it's fine. It's not digging into the swing arm. It's a steel swing arm anyway, so you know, eventually maybe I'll put a new chain slider on. It just pops off. There's like a little thing that sticks up that holds it in place, and it just pops over that every time. You know, I don't know what's going on, but it smells like burning oil right now. I think that's coming from here. Maybe I got an oil leak. Who knows? I only looked at the tire pressure today. I didn't look at the oil level. And, you know, it's been a long time since I changed the oil on this thing. I got the first service at 600 miles. And then about 5,000, I had an oil leak out of the countershaft seal that they fixed under warranty, and they had the oil out of it at that point. So I said, hey, you know, can you just add an oil filter and change the oil? Okay. And then I've done it once since then at 10,000 and changed the air filter. And no real problems with this bike. I'd say the only real problem was that oil leak, you know, defective seal or whatever, that there's the period of infant mortality there where, you know, things are most likely to have a failure when they're new. You know, unless you can look at it and see that it's bad. You know, seals that are cracked or whatever, they're going to fail. They're already failed, but that's why we have warranties to cover those, you know, birthing faults. And the other thing is the side stand switch is it was intermittent at first. You know, I put a new battery in it because it was just like wouldn't start, you know. And then I figured out that if I put the kickstand up, it started every time. And I talked to this dude at work that had the same bike, and, you know, lo and behold, he had the same problem. But it's I've cleaned it a couple times, and it seems to be fine now. So side stand switch. There was one other weird thing. Oh, the headlight stopped working. It just wouldn't come on, and it turned out, I read around on some forums or something with similar bikes with this control panel here, and it turns out that it was the whatever, you know, when you hit the start button, it does some relay action or whatever and turns the headlight off so that it can have more cranking power for the battery. And I needed this whole new switch assembly, so I pulled the cover off, plugged the new switch in, and the headlight came on. And then we went to installing it, and it's been fine ever since. So yeah, can't say that there's been much with this thing. It's had 3 different sets of tires. The stock ones were pretty good, but I think those are the ones that got a hole in them while I was on a trip that we couldn't fix. And I got that hole in the tire real early, but, you know, 8,500 miles or 7,500 miles or something, I put on the Shinko 805s, and those tires were absolutely terrible for me. I mean, I guess other people like them, or they were the 705s, whichever ones are less aggressive looking. You know, they look about like the TKC 70s I have on there now, but they were made out of like hard plastic or something, and they just did not hook up at all in the wet. And living in the Northwest, I'm riding on wet roads quite a bit, so they were downright scary at times. They were fine in the dirt, you know, really gave better than expected performance off-road. And I used those for the BDR trip, and then I just had like one too many, like locking up the front wheel or you know, coming to a stop sign. And I was always like, if I shifted to second gear aggressively and the road was just damp, it would smoke the back tire and I'd be sideways. Yeah, I didn't enjoy those tires, so I got rid of them. And these CKC70s are gold standard, you know. If I was riding this bike off-road more, I'd maybe go with TKC80s, and I'm probably thinking about those for the 300 Rally, you know, if the stock tires aren't available or whatever. But, you know, I think they might be worth a try. I know a lot of guys, Rocky Mountain ATV or whatever, as soon as they get a bike with TKC80s, they take them off and put Dunlop 606s on. But if 90% of your riding's off-road, you know, it's probably right to have a 90% off-road tire. But 90% of my riding's on-road, and the small trade-off for me is in off-road performance is worth it in on-road performance. So just been rambling here, but that's what happens when you get me talking. I went out with that my subscriber that's lived in town here, and he got to the bar at like 7, and we left at like 10:30. You know, just jaw-jacking about bikes and everything like that. But we'll save that for another story. And have a great day. Here's another one of the beautiful parks in our area. We kind of just rode around the whole thing. It goes up to the top of that hill, back over there. All the trails you can ride on a mountain bike. There's really no terrain features. There's a little jump section I found, but it's mostly just kind of flowing trails and climbs and valleys, and there's a lake in there that you can ride around the paved trail. Yeah, Fort Steilacoom. Nice playgrounds, big huge dog park. Awesome. Anyway, the Northwest is where it's at. Talk to you later.